Hello everyone and welcome to the second episode of the Stronghold speculation video series which I'm doing. This episode is the episode just before Ready Up, which is on Friday the 13th of February. So if you're watching this and you're thinking, why is he saying stuff that's already been told to us? It's because I made it before and I just wanted to make a video before the Ready Up just for some information for you guys, because there's been an article, there's also been 2 previews since the last episode, and I've wanted to talk to you about these things so I can give you some info if you haven't read the article and whatnot. So basically there was an interview with John Corpening, hope I haven't brutalised that name, from the PvP team. He's the lead of the PvP team. So basically he was in an interview with PC Gamer, and it was a pretty cool interview. It gave us a lot of insight and a lot of information, which was really vital. So this is the first part, and the second part is I'm gonna go through the 2 previews and just give you a little bit of information here and there. So here we go. The first map in the new Stronghold game mode is going to be called Champion's Dusk. So that is going to be the actual name. Stronghold is a game mode, it's not the name of the map, it's the actual game mode. So what John was saying, actually, a direct quote, it said, "When you play Stronghold, it feels more like a battle that you're actually participating in." So it's, it feels like a world v world condensed theme inside this small kind of PvP map, which is essentially what it is, but it's still, you have to kill the Lord to actually get the win. So defense first, then you actually kill the Lord. So in terms of mechanics, in the actual interview itself, he mentioned that there's going to be 2 lanes. There's going to be 1 attacking lane and 1 defending lane. That's for your own team. So in the offensive lane, you take supply and you spend it on NPCs that push that lane, and on the defensive lane the opponents send their own NPCs and also players to actually destroy your gate. So obviously your defensive lane is their offensive lane. Kind of makes sense, right? I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory. What it seems to be is NPCs seem to have a main focus on the lane rather than actually attacking players. So for example, I'll talk about what the actual NPCs are in a bit, but these NPCs will be running solely across the lane, the bombers I'll say, which I'll explain in a bit, and then the archers I will explain exactly what they are, but they'll focus on things like guards and maybe NPCs that are incoming and maybe players that are actually coming as well. Not 100% sure, that will be explained later. So as I said, NPCs, there's 2 different NPC types. There's script door breakers, like bomb squads, and there's these Tengu archers as well. The skip bombers don't take on players and actually die quite quickly versus the guards, or versus players, I guess. So it looks like you'll use these at times when you can make an effective push whilst killing or having killed the guards. So you want to make sure that you're protecting them using different classes, different builds to actually protect these guys, because they're very important to take down the door so you can get through. Whether or not a treb affects the door would make sense that it does, but in world v world, things like that, trebs do affect doors, but not as much, I guess, as rams and such. So I think these bombs, they're just going to be the best way, and you're going to use trebs and stuff in different methods, different ways to actually give you a vantage point on the map. So basically that's the script bombers, and then you have the archers, who do small damage to the door, but they're not really main focus on the door. They're actually mainly there to harass and to take out guards from range, which is what was quoted in the interview. So I'm guessing they're going to be at different points deployed on the map rather than just walking around. I'm not too sure whether or not you actually push them forward, or if they have actual specific spawn points where they stand and they just, fire their arrows. I'm not too sure, we'll have to wait and see. So from early game, you have 2 options. You can spawn archers to harass enemy NPCs and defend, or you can accompany bombers to actually hit that first enemy gate. This is what he was talking about in the actual article itself. So I'm assuming that this is when you have supply, or maybe you have a base rate of supply when you start, so you can actually start sending NPCs, or maybe you send out your supply carriers to go and actually take supply, bring it back so you can start. So whether or not you start defensive or you start offensive, or you mix it up, maybe you can spend supply between the two at the beginning. Again, I'm speculating as to what they're talking about because it's still info, but it's not exact info, and we'll probably find out on Ready Up. And we'll find out whether I'm right or completely off key, and you'll be able to comment below that I'm wrong. There are trebs as well that are also in the game mode. They're used to harass key points on the map, which is quoted from the article. So I guess like supply camps, harassing or pushing, even defending. In the videos we don't see them controlled by players actually, so standing at the treb itself might not actually be something you need to do. It might be something like an aerial missile drop, you know, in other games where you can just plant, have a target for where you actually aim this treb when you're actually on the map. Maybe it's an extra ability, I have no idea, because in the videos, which you'll see in a bit, I can't actually see any players sometimes actually activating these trebs, so that will be quite interesting. So the trebs can be also destroyed, like in Battle of Kylo, but they can also then be repaired. Gates can be destroyed, obviously, that is your main focus, to get through those two gates to get to the Lord, but they cannot actually be repaired. So it feels like Arena have really gone off, well, this is what they said in the article as well, and this is what it felt like before. They've gone off feedback from the community saying they would like a kind of small condensed world vs world experience, but then put into like an SPVP game mode similar to Guild v Guild from Guild Wars 1, and also some kind of MOBA-esque feature as well. So that's quite kind of what they're going for. Of course it's going to have the Guild Wars 2 ArenaNet spin on it, that's kind of obvious. Another thing to think about, and another thing that was talked about in the article, is actual builds. So because this isn't Conquest related, obviously, you're going to have different builds. So you're not going to be against just players and people from PvE. This feels like a bridge between PvE, World v World, and SPVP. You know, putting those guys into an SPVP environment, making it easier for people to get in there. People who are less mechanically minded, who want to just jump in, have some fun, and kill some NPCs, you know, kill a lord and win a game a different way, you know. And I think that's a really good idea to get people involved. So the strong design to have specific roles in this game, so in this game mode, so things like high DPS that can take out players and NPCs, or more evasive builds that can actually operate as supply carriers or support classes, protecting NPCs and buffing their team. So kind of a few quotes there from the article. I mean, there could be even things like a treb holder, and I've put on my notes with a smiley face, like an engine, like a turret NG. So you could have like a turret NG holding different places with his turrets and just putting them there to really annoy the enemy, because we know how annoying turret NGs are. Not responsible, wasn't me. But yeah, I mean, there's different things like that. I mean, you could see completely different support builds coming out that you don't see, or things that could come back, things like Spirit Rangers and stuff that maybe can help NPCs move forward. Maybe, you know, Guardians putting down speed buffs with their star 3 on the floor so that NPCs move faster and heroes move faster. And as we're talking about heroes, we're going to be talking about heroes very soon, but thinking about all the different stuff that you could do differently that would be brought into this mode is very exciting for me. And just the new builds and new build videos that I could create, and also builds that I can create and you can create, and more content that's going to be out there, and the more possibilities is just really epic. And it's like a mini Trinity that could come into this, I feel. Should be pretty cool. Seems to be, like I said, a bridge really for the PvE and World v World players to get involved. As Hugh Norfolk says, he says, Conquest really was a mechanical based game. You had to always be fighting a player. So he goes out to say, in general, that you need map awareness and also communication in his section of the article. So it's not just about fighting, it's not just player on player, it's not just SPVP. It's just completely, it's almost like a completely separate game mode from PvP, but you have players in there as well. So it's just going to be good to have other things to actually fight. I love the mechanic on foe fire. I love it, where you can kill the Lord and you can get 150 points. It adds something else to the game. I love, obviously, PvP as well. I'm not saying that. But it is just going to be just awesome. It's just going to be different, So more mechanical players may be facing other players, whilst perhaps less experienced defeat NPCs, varying supply, and also operating the treb, etc., which is what they said in the article. So again, different player levels, skill as well is going to be pretty cool. So heroes is what we're going to talk about next. Now this is something which is going to be pretty cool, and they described in the article heroes as super weapons, Stronghold super weapons, which I think is really cool. These seem to stick with you until the Lord Room, and then when reached, and there's, in the article it talks about a large AoE knockback ability that potentially can CC players, whether or not you can activate it or not, I don't know. That would be pretty sweet though. Imagine like you're controlling a hero in, I don't know, League of Legends or something, and there's just a major elite ability you can use. Maybe something like that. I do not know. Should be pretty cool though. So when we're talking about the heroes, so to gain a hero, in the article it says that you have to have a 10-second channel, I guess like you would do a skill point or something, and it must take place. So this takes place in an area which I'm guessing is the middle of the map, or another area on both sides maybe, which happens at the same time. Maybe teams are split, or maybe it's just one point in the middle somewhere where we see a lot of people fighting as well. You have to have this channel, and of course this channel is going to inflict a big team fight. Big team fight is going to occur, and there's going to be so much crazy stuff going on, and it's going to be hectic. You might have trebs firing in there, I guess, as well. I don't think there's going to be any NPCs, because I don't think this is going to be a lane thing. I think this is going to be more of a definite player-on-player aspect, but I could be wrong. It could be completely different. So to gain him, you have to do the channel. And then obviously you still have the lane fighting going on, the lane defending, so you have to choose whether or not it's worth it. Do we go for the hero, or do we push the lane, or do we defend because our own lane's getting attacked as it is, and if we lose this team fight on the hero channel, we're going to be completely screwed. Whereas if we actually defend and push back ourselves, it might be more beneficial. Not too sure, but speculating again. It does seem that there is going to be, later in the article, they do say heroes. So obviously there's going to be multiple chances to have different heroes. Whether or not you can assign those heroes to different lanes, so attack, defense, who knows? I don't know. Obviously it's going to be on the offensive lane, but can you assign heroes to the defensive lane? Can you have maybe archer heroes, so you just, air or something, where she's just standing on the top of the battlements firing epic arrows at players or whatever, or one-shotting script bombers, and I don't know. Maybe something like that. Who knows? Just speculation, just something to build some excitement. Could be completely wrong about that, to be fair. So this big team fight is going to erupt. You get the heroes, and it just seems pretty sweet, to be honest. And also, just as a finisher on the article, because they talked about heroes towards the end, what John said was, we definitely see this being the future of PvP for Guild Wars 2. The future? Does that mean that SPVP maps, conquest-wise, will be stopped? We have quite a lot of conquest maps, let's be honest. Not sure we need any more. Maybe some variation, maybe a new map, not too sure, but it feels like they really want to push this mode as something that's going to be competitive, maybe something that's going to be fairly esports. Maybe this is the mode they want to push to esports as well, and we'll have two side running modes. Maybe Stronghold will take over, and the actual conquest mode will come out. We'll have to wait and see. I don't think so, not at the moment, obviously, not until it's been released and tested fully, and that's going to be another year until probably it's ready to be in a place where that happens. We don't even know if it's definitely 5v5. And in this article, something which was deleted and removed is a comment which I think PC Gamer may have taken the wrong way, was a confirmation of 5v5, but they haven't confirmed it. Whatever is said, Reddit, whatever, I do not think that until beta testing has taken place that they will confirm it will be 5v5. So we're going to go next on to the previews and have a look at those and just analyse them a little bit. And yeah, we'll go over to those now. So second part of this video is going to be me going through the actual preview first. So let's go through it. Let's have a look. See what we can see. Okay, so as you can see right there, and I've paused it at the best spot, is you can see a supply icon. Now, whether or not this means that you spawn with supply, so that's the icon that tells you that your teammates have supply or enemies have supply. You come out the gates, you have supply, you spend that supply initially, and you start to build up from there, sending out NPCs, building up defenses or whatever. Also, I noticed these two cannons, one on the top left, top right. Whether or not you can actually use those and assign people to those cannons, I'm not sure. I mean, it doesn't look like you can get up there, so it might be more of a look thing than anything else. But how cool would that be? The last line of defense, you just fire these OP cannons. That would be pretty cool. World v World, they're quite useful as well. But yeah, if you can see those supply icons on your opposite teammates, on the enemy team, sorry, that would be very cool, because you can actually target supply carriers and actually see who's got supply. So maybe you can steal it off them. Who knows? Don't know. Let's keep going. Same with the blue team as well. You can see those supply marks. Now that, and where the statue is, you would think maybe that this is going to be where the actual heroes spawn and where you can actually channel it, because it looks like some portal which beams them in or whatever, or like a channel point, which is what you have to do. You have to channel for 10 seconds to actually get this this hero, and you know, there's a hero standing next to it. What do you want me to say? Let's keep going. Okay, so one of the gates is open currently. You did just see, actually, let's just go back there. So there we go. Where is the person who's on the trap? The trap is still firing, and he is dead. What's happening here? Now, is someone controlling the trap, like I said in the video before? Are they controlling it via, I don't know, some kind of tactic where you could just do aerial drops or whatever, like you can in some games? You can do it in Guild Wars 2 somewhere, I can't remember. But you can just command airstrikes. Maybe that's a way of doing it, rather than putting someone on the treb. Because in Kylo and stuff, it's cool and all, but sometimes it can get boring just being on the treb. So maybe that's what they're doing here. Who knows? Okay, so around here, this is going to be, I don't know, you can see kind of, is that the spawn there or is that water? It's just water coming down, but just there in that mid-fight there, you can see there's going to be a lot of fighting over here, and you can see the gates in the distance and whatnot as well, and the also potential lanes going around. I'm not sure if that's going to be a lane there, that could be, but it looks like these are the two lanes. You can see the treb there, which is where the gate was, so that's the blue gate there, and the red one's coming up here. So this is their defensive lane, blue lane's defensive lane, and then I'm guessing this is their attacking lane. Assumptions made. Keep going. Okay, so there's a little bit more action on that midpoint there. Treb obviously hitting in there as well. So this is definitely supply gather. You can see the supply just gathered up there, kind of stocked up as if it's in World v World and whatnot. So that seems to be the main middle point of the map, which is where all the supply will be. I can't see if that's supply there. Maybe that'll show us more. No. See, again, you can see the supply markers around here on this character just on the middle of the screen. Looks like a necro. That might have been a hero running up, actually. He was a different colour. Okay, so here we've got the gate. This is just a gate. World v World standard in and out. So you can run in and out to defend and whatnot. And attack, so that's pretty cool. Anything else? Okay, there's the script bombers who are just approaching the gate there. Looks like they're just going to take the gate down, and they're just trying to put on as much damage as possible, with people potentially defending, not too sure. And then you've got the zoom out of the map. That's the first preview. Preview 2 then, as we can see here, that was the middle. And those are the script bombers, as you can see, running along down one of the lanes towards that gate, of course, to attempt to destroy it. Whether or not the gate guards will kill them or not, we'll have to wait and see. Was there a Tengu in there? There was a Tengu. That last shot, I'm sure it was. Yeah. There's a Tengu there. Is that? Yeah, definitely. So there's one running along with them. Okay. Answers the question I was asking earlier. So you can see the Treb there, not manned by anyone really. So it must be, maybe they're just showing it off. I'm not sure. But there's a player there who's going forward and maybe trying to defend. Not too sure. But there we see, you know, Skrit attacking. Possibly an engineer around there as well. Also, Treb firing into there. Again, it feels like maybe this guy is ordering that Treb to fire there. Who knows? Let's keep going. Gate destroyed. Guards are knocked back. Some fighting. See, this guy could have been activating the Treb, but he's in the down state, and this guy is going for the down. There is a rock dog there, but he's not operating the Treb, is he? Someone is operating this Treb somehow. Maybe it's that guy who just ran into shot. Okay, so the script there, you can see we're just running up to the door to destroy it, so we know that. Okay, and the guards are actually attacking, and there's maybe that's an enemy arrow, so that might be the NPC, could be the Tengu over here, or maybe that's a character, could have been a character. We'll keep going. There you go, doors destroyed. Now I'm suspecting that this is a lord, because he's quite large. Either that or he's a ranger that's just used the signet, which makes him larger and his damage increases. But everyone is attacking him in this next shot, so you can see people ranged up here. Green, blue, and red. It was a bit confusing. That could just be the dies on your own team, or they could be the NPCs, or, you know, whatever you want. But he is he is standing there. He's not a player because he's not moving very much, you know. And these blue guys could be NPCs that are coming in to defend, but looks like, just trying to see who that's hitting. You can see again some more Lord action here as he runs around. And the opposite side as well. This is the blue team attacking, so this might be an NPC again, standing on the sides. And you see some mobs up here. Maybe that's a player with a pet, not too sure. But some defense here as well to make so you can't just run in and instantly try and, you know, mower the boss or try and range the boss as soon as possible. You have to get kind of in range, and maybe he pulls automatically when you come past this area. That would be quite cool. But definitely you see those supply icons above their head. And again on the other side they're attacking the Lord as well. So that looks like an NPC character, really does. Either that, or it looks like some kind of new outfit. Looks quite cool. But you can see these players, I mean, they're red there, so they could be defending. Keep going on that. But that's pretty much it for the previews. I mean, some nice little bits of info as you look through it. I'm just looking through it and just picking out random bits, but in all, that's pretty much it. So hope you enjoyed this video, and guys, looking forward to Ready Up. If you're watching this video now, then obviously it might not be, you know, on key with everything, because you might have seen Ready Up before you saw this. But thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment if you do like it. And I will see you for another episode of Stronghold Speculation Series. Thank you very much for watching, and see you soon.